We would like to take this opportunity to explain a few important items in relation to your lease. This is an example of the lease document you will need to sign today. The front page is the most important part of this document. It states your name, the landlord's name, the lease terms including the address of the property, any car spaces or storage units, the lease start and end date and the length term in either weeks or months. It also lists the bond amount and the number of people who ordinarily live in the property. Our rent payments are made through the DEFT system. You will be given a DEFT number in your lease sign-up pack and use this number to register with DEFT and make all future payments. BPay payments are also possible from your own online banking, as well as credit card on the DEFT website or by phone. Repairs and requests must be submitted to your property manager in writing. This is to ensure we provide the correct information to the landlord and have it resolved as soon as possible. However, should you require emergency work out of normal business hours, please make contact with the suppliers we list on the lease first to ensure they bill us directly. Emergency or urgent repairs are items such as no power, no water, no hot water, no flushing toilet, a serious leak to the property or a break-in that requires a new lock. The next 9 pages of the agreement form part of the Standard Agreement for the Residential Tenancies Act 2010. They list your rights and obligations as tenants during your lease with the landlord. If you have any questions on this as you read through, please note them and discuss with your property manager. We would like to draw to your attention a few parts of the Standard Agreement we receive the most questions from. If applicable, please note gardening and pool maintenance and the frequency of service. If the property you are leasing is part of a strata or company title, you will be given bylaws for the building. This is a list of the building rules during your time in the property. If these rules are not followed, you may be served with a breach notice which is issued directly by the strata manager. These breaches of the lease can affect your tenancy, and serious, consistent breaches may result in a termination. Should you ever receive one, please contact us immediately so we can explain your obligations. The second last page is called the Addendum. In this, we list any special conditions or any items we have highlighted in the Standard Agreement. Items of note include: you are responsible to keep the drains clear of debris, especially those prone to clogging on the balcony. You agree to ventilate the property regularly. Some properties, especially those that face south, are prone to developing mould in the cooler months. Cool outside temperatures, when combined with heating the air inside the property, can create condensation on the windows, which is enough to start mould forming. The condition report forms part of the lease agreement. Today you will need to sign that you've received your report. You have 7 days to go through the property and agree or disagree with our comments on the report. If you are not in agreement after this time, your property manager may need to re-inspect and make sure we have an accurate report for your tenancy. We will send you a note within 7 days to remind you to return this. As this is an automated reminder, we apologise in advance if you received the reminder and your condition report has already been returned. Please note that when we do an ingoing inspection, we do not test that the oven is working or the dishwasher runs through a cycle. We do rely on the last tenant letting us know if a repair is required. Occasionally, this means we need to get something fixed. So if this does happen, please email your property manager and they will start the repair process. Here are some questions that are commonly asked when signing a lease. Why is the sales disclosure clause in the lease agreement? The landlord has a duty to disclose to you as their tenants any intention to place their property on the market for sale prior to entering into a tenancy agreement. This is a clause that we include in all of our leases to protect both tenant and landlord, and does not necessarily mean that the property you are renting will be placed on the market for sale during your tenancy. However, if this does arise in the future, you will be provided with a minimum of 14 days notice prior. What happens to my holding deposit? The 1 week's rent holding deposit that you paid to secure the property has been credited towards your total rent monies owing. When filling in the condition report, I have noticed some wear and tear throughout my property. Will the landlord attend to these issues? Please submit any request to your property manager in writing for the landlord's consideration. There are some requests that constitute an improvement as opposed to a repair. Your request will certainly be passed on to the landlord and the outcome conveyed to you. How frequent are routine inspections? The first routine inspection is carried out after the first 3 months of tenancy. This is an opportunity for us to ensure that the property is in good order, discuss any initial matters with you that may arise after moving in, and also to establish open lines of communication. After the first routine inspection, if there is no cause for concern, we will schedule our next inspection for 6 months. What happens if I need to break my lease early? When you sign a lease agreement, you are committing to stay for the full term. If your circumstances change and you want to move out before the end of the fixed term, there are costs involved. Please refer to your tenancy agreement for a full outline of these fees and charges. If you need to end your agreement early, you should give as much notice as you can, so that we can take all reasonable steps to find a replacement tenant as soon as possible and help to minimise your costs. We take service very seriously, so if at any time during your tenancy you are not happy with the service you're receiving, please contact our team leader to have the matter resolved quickly.